been a really interesting week. And I have to say, rather predictable, because it began with the premier of our province, within an upcoming election, firing one of his guys because of his affiliations with you-know-who, Q. I saw this coming last fall, and I have been researching Q for quite some time. I talk about it in quite a few videos, but I have a specific video about Q, and that's called Q Strikes Again. It's a funny little subject. Well, it's a big subject, but it's one of those things that the truth movement and the freedom movement has been apprehensive to take a stand on. And of course, the psyop was designed for just that, because what it allowed it to do was infect the freedom movement and the conservatives in the United States and Canada. And that's exactly why it was created to begin with. I saw the negativity right away. And in fact, these last few weeks on no masks, I have actually isolated certain people within that movement that are dropping certain documents. Yes, I have. I love this group because it's like Central Intelligence, and I learn a lot about the affiliations. Those tear gas canisters, I think that's a bunch of crapola, actually. And I watched who dropped them in our group. And then I also watched them communicate to congratulate each other. I found that very interesting. Yeah. I'm seeing a network and I don't like it. And I'm calling out Q yet again, because the media in Saskatchewan this week seems to have taken to attaching the non-maskers with Q. And I cannot understand for a second where you're getting that from. No mask Sask? Absolutely not. In fact, Q is one of my keywords. And when someone says it, bing, I get the alert. And I go in and take care of it. I will not allow that entity to infect the group, because I've watched it and removed myself from every other group around for that reason. In fact, like I said in several videos, removed myself from Saskatchewan Freedom Revolution, a group I started because of the infection. You can't reconcile with it. And Q contains, and I mean contains, several causes which also gravitate to Sasha Stone. UN man forever. Yeah. In any case, the media has wanted to attach me and no masks, even before I started no masks, to Q. And it started in them using unauthorized footage for a piece of a line that I had said in an interview prior. And then at the end of the piece, they inserted the Q thing, trying to draw it and get it set up. In any case, there was Pat on the Bull who did it again yesterday and tried to associate non-maskers. And of course, everyone in Saskatchewan knows no masks is a one at the forefront on this, to Q. No, sorry, no banana. I would love to do a live interview with the media here in Saskatchewan. Live, of course, because we can't trust you. But I would love to talk about Q and how I came to understand that it is there to divide conservatives, the freedom movement, distracting it all with details that mean nothing. you have no idea the stories I've heard, even as far as Australia, with people telling me about the tunnel children that have been rescued here in Saskatchewan, and they're being housed 3 blocks from my house the whole time. Well, of course, I did investigate that just to be sure, even though I know it was a hoax, but I did. And no. People in Saskatchewan have jumped onto this because all of a sudden Saskatchewan's in a story, and they did that intentionally, and the government did it because they're part of it. When Trump came out a few weeks ago in that press conference and talked about Q, I had to laugh. It was ridiculous. Because number one, they're some of his biggest supporters. And his national security should know all about Q. Yeah, they should. What's interesting about Q is it's somewhat like my recent dealings with BLM. And I am quite, amazed at the similarities in how they operate. Like Q supporters, I've had several death threats from. Well, they're not really death threats. They're you'll be canceled threats. And BLM also works like that in these interesting little analogies I like to make in terms of my death or imminent death. Very silly, but it always injects toxicity. It does. And I won't tolerate it. I see some freedom fighters saying, oh, it's freedom of speech and all of this, and I'm saying you're full of shit. And you need to draw aside because we're at war. And this entity is designed to take you out. The media has grabbed onto it, and you're just feeding the bear. And you know what makes me really mad? At the expense of people actually trying to gain legitimacy for our concerns. You're working against. It's ridiculous. In any case, if you are a supposed truther and you're still talking Q, you're off the list. Bye-bye. Because not in my book. The only truths we need to understand right now is Agenda 2030, the United Nations plan. And that is what we've been shifted into gear to achieve. We have global government that has injected itself through the World Health Organization, throughout our nation, the United States, and the whole globe. Changing our customs, traditions, dismantling our society. And you're still siding with the psyop? This is war. And media? Here's a note. No, you will not find Q anywhere in my realm, nor in the concerns of people that merely want to breathe their air. Yes. Quit feeding the bear. We need to look at the World Economic Forum. We need to look at the COVID Action Platform, weforum.org. Get over there. Look at what's going on. All the documentation is there. Agenda 2030. United Nations. Canada has a plan. In fact, every nation in the world has one. We got to stop allowing ourselves to be infiltrated and our concerns for the future to be delineated. Our humanity is being deleted, and it is time to take a side and a stand. And if you support freedom, Q is not freedom. It's designed to take it down